The Book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa, Section 171. Only one thing astonishes me more than the stupidity with which most people live their lives, and that's the intelligence of this stupidity. On the face of it, the monotony of ordinary lives is horrifying. In this simple restaurant, where I'm eating lunch, I look at the figure of the cook behind the counter, and at the old waiter near my table, who serves me, and who I believe has been a waiter here for 30 years. What kind of lives do these men lead? For 40 years, that figure of a man has spent most of every day in a kitchen. He doesn't get much time off. He sleeps relatively little. He occasionally goes to his hometown, returning without hesitation or regret. He slowly saves his slowly earned money, which he has no plans to spend. He would get ill if he had to retire for good from his kitchen to the piece of land he bought in Galicia. He has been in Lisbon for 40 years and has never yet gone to the rotunda or to a theater, and just once to the circus at the Colosseum, whose clowns still inhabit his life's inner vestiges. He married, I don't know how or why, and has 4 sons and a daughter, and his smile as he leans over the counter in my direction expresses a tremendous, solemn, satisfied happiness. And he's not pretending, nor would he have reason to pretend. If he feels happy, it's because he really is. And what of the old waiter who serves me, and who has just set before me what must be the millionth coffee he set on a customer's table? He has the same life as the cook, the only difference being the 50 or 20 feet between the dining area and the kitchen, where they carry out their respective functions. As for the rest, the waiter has only 2 sons, goes more often to Galicia, has seen more of Lisbon than the cook, knows Oporto, where he spent 4 years, and is equally happy. It shocks me to consider the panorama of these lives, but before I can feel horror, pity, and indignation on their account, it occurs to me that those who feel no horror or pity or indignation are the very ones who would have every right to, namely, the people who live these lives. It's the central error of the literary imagination to suppose that others are like us and must feel as we do. Fortunately for humanity, each man is just who he is, it being given only to the genius to be a few others as well. What's given, in fact, always depends on the person or thing it's given to. A minor incident in the street brings the cook to the door and entertains him more than I would be entertained by contemplating the most original idea, by reading the greatest book, or by having the most gratifying of useless dreams. If life is basically monotony, he has escaped it more than I, and he escapes it more easily than I. The truth isn't with him or with me, because it isn't with anyone. But happiness does belong to him. Wise is the man who monotonizes his existence, for then each minor incident seems a marvel. A hunter of lions feels no adventure after the 3rd lion. For my monotonous cook, a fistfight on the street always has something of a modest apocalypse. One who has never been outside Lisbon travels to the infinite in the tram to Benfica. And should he ever go to Sintra, he'll feel as though he's been to Mars. The man who has journeyed all over the world can't find any novelty in 5,000 miles, for he finds only new things, yet another novelty, the old routine of the forever new. While his abstract concept of novelty got lost at sea after the second new thing he saw. A man of true wisdom, with nothing but his senses and a soul that's never sad, can enjoy the entire spectacle of the world from a chair, without knowing how to read and without talking to anyone. monotonizing existence so that it won't be monotonous, making daily life anodyne so that the littlest thing will amuse. My days at the office, where I always do the very same dull and useless work, are punctuated by visions of me escaping. My dreamed remnants of faraway islands, by feasts in the promenades of parks from other eras, by other landscapes, other feelings, another I. But I realize, between two ledger entries, that if I had all this, none of it would be mine. Better, after all, to have Vasquez my boss than the kings of my dreams. Better, after all, the office at Rua dos Duradores than the grand promenades of impossible parks. Having Vasquez as my boss, I can enjoy dreaming of kings. Having the office on Rua dos Duradores, I can enjoy the inner vision of non-existent landscapes. But if I had the kings of my dreams, what would I have left to dream? If I had impossible landscapes, what other impossibilities would remain for me to imagine? Give me monotony, the dull repetition of the same old days, today an exact copy of yesterday, while my observant soul enjoys the fly that flits past my eyes and distracts me, the laughter that drifts up from I'm not sure which street, the liberation I feel when it's time to close the office, and the infinite repose of a day off. I can imagine that I'm everything because I'm nothing. If I were something, I wouldn't be able to imagine. An assistant bookkeeper can dream he is the Roman emperor, but the King of England cannot, for in his dreams the King of England is precluded from being any king other than the one he is. His reality won't let him feel. Section 172. The slope leads to the mill, but effort leads to nothing. It was an early autumn afternoon, when the sky has a cold dead warmth, and clouds smother the light with blankets of moisture. Destiny gave me only two things: accounting ledgers and a talent for dreaming. Section 173. Dreaming is the worst of drugs because it's the most natural of all. It works its way into our habits like no other drug can. We take it unawares like a poison slipped in a drink. It doesn't hurt, doesn't make you pale, and won't knock you out. But the soul that takes it can't be cured, for it can never let go of its poison, which is its very own self. Like a pageant in the mist. In dreams, I learned to crown the square foreheads of the ordinary with images, to say the banal with mystery, and the simple with meanders, to gild with the sun of artifice the dark corners and forgotten furniture, and whenever I write, to give music as if lulling myself to the fluid phrases of my fixation.